As I'm recording this video, Dokkan Battle is celebrating 7 years, and as an older game, it added several mechanics in this time frame. My proposal is to explain to you the core concepts I would like to be taught if I was just starting today. And there's no better time to start since you are getting tons of rewards, events and banners. But if you are watching this later on, don't worry, this video will still be valid for you. I will also add timestamps to make this video more accessible, so if you already know what I'm talking about, just look at the timeline and skip to whatever you want to learn. As any gacha, you play the game with the characters you summon with premium currency, in our case, Dragonstones. The rarities available on banners are Rare, SRs and SSRs. And characters can be evolved to URs, and some of them even further to LRs. That's a lot of letters, so we will be considering only the SSR rarity as useful, because with such longevity, the game has practically retired all the other rarities as far as usefulness for battle, with very scarce exceptions. Most banners guarantee you at least one SSR per multi-summon, and the odds of pulling more are 10%. Pretty good. Tapping on the feature icon on the banner, you can easily see what characters have better odds of showing up, but there's hundreds of SSRs we call unfeatured, and not all of them are good news. Let's talk about individual characters later and jump into game mechanics. Dokkan, like most gachas, is a team building game. So don't let this Candy Crush HUD fool you. There's a lot of complexity to it, even before the battle starts. You can bring 6 of your own units to battle and 1 additional loaner from a friend, or in the general friend unit pool. The first unit you add in your team will occupy the first slot in your grid, and it will be called Leader. And a leader skill is basically a permanent buff for your whole team. The unit you loan will provide a buff as well. In this case, Vegeta gives a buff to all characters on the team that fits in the pure Saiyans category. Back in the day, the leader skill was based on color, and you can still find units that possess the color-based leader skill to this day. Now we mostly shift towards category-based units. To see the categories an individual character fits in, go to detail list and scroll down to check all the characters you own on a specific category. Also, if you want to look at the bigger picture and all the units you have in a specific category, you can go to any character selection menu, in this case the menu Characters. Tap on this icon, keeping in mind that yours can have a different label, and search the name of the category you want to filter to. To reset your selection, press Remove All. Now that you have the basic knowledge to navigate on the menus and maybe did some research on your own on the teams you want to build, let's talk about the most important concept for beginners: rotations. As I mentioned earlier, your team contains a total of 7 units. You may have noticed that you can use only 3 at a time. What that means is that your team will have a set of 2 permanent characters and 1 character that will float out of rotation, skipping 2 turns. Characters you place in the 3rd slot from the left to right will be rotated out, and you keep the first 2 in rotation for the next turn. The ideal usually is to keep the core part of your team within 2 pairs containing the best synergy possible, and juggle the 3 others. The juggling characters can be either a direct support for your team, a replacement for your core characters based on strength against longer events, or an additional DPS, all depending on your strategy. To decide the pairings, you also need to take into account link skills. When 2 characters have common links, they will radiate ki when placed next to each other. To check with links on an individual character, press this icon and the list will be there. You can also filter in the selection menus like previously. This video was a nudge in the right direction, and I left out a lot of things that are easier to discover or too complex for beginners. But feel free to leave a comment, I will try my best to reply to everyone, and if you want a more in-depth guide, I will be more than happy to do so. Just leave a comment, and I see you guys next time. Later, man.